100 million active users. Is Bing actually catching up to Google, and why subtle SEO differences matter? This is my online toolbox providing weekly quick tips and reminders in all facets of online marketing with an objective to help you grow your business with more quality leads, amplifying more quality. We do it with a hybrid of education, providing strategy support behind it, and also implementation support too, if so needed. Previously, we were teaching about why words hurt or help, not others, but your company. And we provide simple SEO examples so you can completely understand the importance of this topic. Week before that, we admitted, can you? That you're never too old to learn. We provided an example of our first ceiling fan that had a silly mistake, and we were using the documentation to the T. We still made a mistake. We wanted to make sure that impact, that relevance impact towards learning marketing could hit home on why we feel you're never too old to change everything about your marketing. This week, we're focusing in on a big milestone that was just announced by Bing, owned by Microsoft, which is that they've now finally hit 100 million active users. But the big reason why they hit this is that they have a new chat feature taking place, and they do have a lot of people who have signed up to help them support that chat. We support that future topic, but we want people to realize that even though they hit the 100 million milestone of active users, never forget, Google still has a billion. So it's a 10 to 1 difference of who has a lot of that market share. So we're very happy to be aware that Microsoft is catching up in the single digits, but still, you have to realize that Google still dominates today. It doesn't mean that you have to skip Bing altogether, but you want to be aware of where the majority of the crowd may be. It's very popular for people to then say, well, what is the differences between Bing SEO, which stands for search engine optimization, and Google SEO? What we wanted to do is, since this is a relatively fair document to look at, you just have to look at the URL, pause to see it at searchenginejournal.com, where they talk about the SEO Bing versus Google comparison. And there are some reasonable topics, but then there's other topics that are overkill. So what we always like people to realize is that at the moment, Google by far has the volume, but it's generally known too that even though it's a smaller amount with Bing, Bing tends to bring a more quality oriented, at least towards the higher end education for remodeling and home building audience that's there. So when you study this article, it goes through it methodically, but at the end of the day, there's always going to be a handful of topics that are just interpreted differently among the different search engines. They always begin with keywords. We've talked about that before in how to be very conscious about what you target, how you express it, and hone in on what you really want. It also talks about backlinks and links that come from the outside world to your web individual pages, as well as how you do linking between one page to a second and third page on your own website. They have different perceptions on how they work on social signals, such as Facebook and YouTube linking to your website. They also talk about multimedia content, such as search engines looking at how you write certain things in addition to how you display it, such as images. And then, of course, come other technical SEO differences. We're not going to highlight each one here. You can go to that article to look, because the key thing is if you go to our February 22nd post, one of our more popular posts on Facebook, you will see that we have 100 featured projects. That number has since grown since that February 22nd post, since we post once a week anyway. But what we do with our featured projects as a brand ambassador is, in addition to storytelling and making sure we express the best of who you are on a project by project and location by location basis, we are targeting all of these topics in a methodical manner that, whether it's Google or Bing or any other search engine for that matter indexing your site, that the majority of the first 4 topics are already being hit on a repetitive basis. And yes, there are always going to be unique differences which are better covered under the technical SEO differences. But if you hit the high level topics on a consistent basis and maintain your brand from 1 month to 1 quarter to 1 year to 5 years out, as these search engines are competing with each other, it will not matter. You still want to, of course, tweak it, but you want to concentrate on what matters most. This is My Online Toolbox reminding people, those new to our orbit, if you want to get started understanding the basics of at least towards marketing education for simply your website, please invest in the basic education for more leads. It's a couple of $100 and about 7 to 8 hours of your time. You'll be changed for life. This is My Online Toolbox saying thank you for joining us. And remember to never forget to focus in on more quality leads. Start planning yesterday for next year's marketing and profits. Have a healthy week, and we will see you next week.